Last time, I believe. Oh yes, one of you wasn't here. No, two of you wasn't here last time.
And now
Yes.
only one of us isn't.
And I believe the group can explain to you as currently, I suspect, Ataika and Aiden, you do notice that your companions are coming back to the ship from their little foray into the station on the asteroid. 4 robots are coming along and stuffing things inside of your cargo hold. Seemingly random things.
I mean, this isn't the first time that Kuzon has reprogrammed bots and decided to steal them, so, you know.
Prava runs up to Aiden like, Aiden, you missed it. We saw the coolest thing in the world.
Oh, what'd you see?
Prava whips out his cell phone and he shows the sweet selfie he took with that, like, space angel thing.
1 second, I've actually still got the picture.
Yeah, show me. What the hell? What is that?
This is our new friend.
Is that like a floating jellyfish?
He calls himself the Angel.
The others call him an angel.
Well,
technically.
I guess he doesn't really say much of anything, but he was called. You know, just a standard wild creature on a spaceship messing with people's minds unaware, you know. It was a whole deal.
Kuzon just standing next to Prava, like smiling, like, I believe in God now.
What?
Look, we managed to break the skeptic here and everything. You really shouldn't have missed it.
Did you guys, like, inhale some weird toxins in there or something?
Among other things, yes.
I mean, I'm still riding on a high that could drop any moment now.
Right, you see the robots just start dumping out what appeared to be like luggage, backpacks, bits and pieces, a fire extinguisher, a man who seems to be rock solid, is piling up stuff and going back for more.
Oh, it's like, oh yeah.
What's up with all the
almost forgot
boxes?
about that guy. Well, everybody's safe for that guy's dead, so.
Yeah, we figured, you know, more cargo for the ship.
Boxes and roxes. What is this?
Right, while we're talking, because Thiveron is not here, Aiden is going to do his best to give a quick glance at Prava and Kuzon, because from where he's standing, something is clearly wrong with them, so he's giving them a medical check over while they're talking.
Kuzon has some welts on the top of his head, and he has a dent in the metal bit in the base of his neck.
Kuzon, what happened to you? You look like you've been in a fight.
I was floating through space, and Thiveron threw a rock at the back of my head. Just knocked me back in the station.
You should probably take care of Thiveron too. I might have stabbed him a little bit.
You did a what now?
Yeah, everyone's coming inside as well. You can see like bleeding. If it wasn't for the slight force field on his armor, it probably would be bad. You can just see his arm still bleeding.
Aiden just
He
scratches
just
his
nods.
Aiden just scratches his head. Okay, note to self: never leave you guys somewhere without me. You need a babysitter. Gotcha.
I mean, we tried to wake you up, but you were just really out.
Yeah, I'm not really used to space travel. Adapting is hard.
Yeah, the alien jellyfish, whatever, like gets into your brain or something.
But he was a cool guy once you got to know him.
Yeah, he only
The alien
drove
jellyfish.
everybody on the station, including Prava, insane first.
I'm gonna grab Kuzon, pick him up, and I'm gonna start slapping him to see if I can wake him up, because to me he sounds like he's delirious right now.
I'm gonna bite you.
Ow!
No.
By the way, at this point, the robots have piled up a total luggage capacity of 11. What are basically backpack consumer, but they're like luggage things and all sorts of backpacks and stuff like that. It's just a pile. There's a pile of clothes forming as well.
That's gonna be a project to sort through. Maybe we can cool it on collecting clothes. That'll just probably end up in like a trash pile asteroid or something.
They've already
probably
collected
donate
those.
them to somewhere. I'm sure it'll be fine.
You gave them a simple order to collect things. They are collecting everything they can get their hands on.
Did you? The thing is, we're gonna get an American situation where like they literally export too many clothes for countries to accept. That even if, like doesn't even matter the economic sense. It's like, what if we just like literally destroyed your continent with clothes?
So, if you're standing in a cargo bay, do you want me to list off what they're bringing in, or?
Well, I do think our highest priority is the dude that's locked in the suit. I think we have to deal with that.
Oh yeah, he's lying on a pile of clothes and backpacks and luggage. Higgins, the medical officer.
Does somebody want to give me a hand?
I'll give him a hand.
Yeah, I left him is that the word, hermetically sealed? I left him sealed in a suit. We found him like this, but because everybody else went crazy, I decided not to undo it and to leave him in there until we could bring him back to the ship.
Right, and he's not gonna wake up and be a problem, is he? Is he dangerous?
He could be. So that's why we're doing it here with all of us. And I shoot a glance at Ataika.
Prava feels really insulted. I'm just like, he heard the implication in that sentence. He heard the accusation.
just a small accusation.
Just a little bit.
His suit is basically keeping him in stasis currently. So you could undo the stasis. You could deliver him to his place. Since you probably at this point do know, even if you didn't look it up, since you picked up the guys' IDs and stuff, that what they're called is Outlook Industries. They're a surveying company. So if you deliver this guy to them, even in stasis, they could take him, unless you want to unstasis him.
I mean, I guess I assume that Prava wants to know what he was doing. I guess we want to know.
Prava's actually run off to show Z and the pirate queen his selfie. So he's already gone, super gone.
Well, yeah, we have some guests on the ship, right? I forgot about that part.
You were looking after them while they were gone. Don't forget
Yes,
about them.
gotcha. One wanted to play games and get drunk.
I'll throw him on a wheelie cart and drag him into my lab, I guess.
Okay, so his arms are just stiff outright. They don't move, so it's like picking up a statue and putting him on one of those little roller things, and you just lean back and then start pushing him forward. He's like,
Yeah, really. One of the front left tire is especially squeaky as it goes like the whole ship.
just fading as the robots, as the cargo bay suddenly closes. The robots are just standing there, looking down at their pile of stuff.
I mean, all this trash of clothes will make a good ballistic missile of disrespect.
Well, of course, he brought other things. It's just in the pile.
Yeah. I'll look at that stuff after I've secured our friend.
Understood. So, did you want to go first and lock them, or Prava, did you want to show your find to the two guests? Or excited like?
I'm not sure if we need to RP it out. I just want to make it clear that Prava wants to go show new friends, his other new friend, and just spread the circle of new friend.
I'd like to imagine that he's.
A picture of your friend.
I'd like to imagine that he's showing off his phone with a big doofus smile, and his eyebrows are wiggling. What do you think?
This is my new friend. He can mind control people. He did it to me for a little while.
He did need it,
Maybe stab my friend.
Oh god. Okay, so I'm gonna assume that either Aiden or Kuzon are probably gonna, unhook the doctor, or what's going on?
Yeah, I'll make sure Ataika is with me at least if I go to unplug this guy's cord.
Have the giant robot standing there just in case.
Yeah, if that weird mind control flare didn't fucking kill him, at least a heart attack and shock from seeing Ataika will.
I'll plug my like. I assume does the suit like track vital signs or anything like that?
Yes, it is a suit designed for basically putting somebody into stasis when they're heavily injured. So think of it like you're getting readouts that you would get for a modern medical kit.
Yeah.
Like you have their heart rate and all that sort of thing. It seems like he's stable, hasn't lost any blood or anything. He just put himself into the stasis.
Yeah, I'll synchronize that to my lab's computer so I can like monitor it on a monitor up ahead, and then I'll go through the process of unsealing him just so that I can like keep an eye and like if his heart rate suddenly spikes or something like that.
All right, as you start deactivating the stasis, you do see his heart rate starting to build quite quickly out of, well, he's quite shocked as his body suddenly lurches forward. He's like, what the hell? What's going on? Where am I?
Welcome back, Doctor.
Are you real? He reaches forward to touch your face with his hand.
I'll just meet his hand with my hand, pull his hand away, and just kind of be like, yeah, we found you sealed in that space station.
Oh,
And,
I see.
I'm afraid you have some explaining to do.
Oh, my nightmare is over then. That's good. I can finally calm down now.
Unless, you know, we're part of the nightmare and it's still ongoing.
Are you there and saying that?
Yes, I'm there saying that, and after that, I'm assuming everybody's gonna look at Aiden and be like, the fuck? And Aiden's just gonna shrug.
Attacker
he
is
looks towards you
nothing
and
if not loyal. He says boo.
he looks towards you and then looks to Ataika and says, oh my god, maybe that's true. Maybe it's inside my mind. Maybe it makes me think I've been rescued. Yes. You can see him search around his pocket for a moment.
I'm just gonna pinch his arm with my claws, just go.
Ow! Pain.
Let
That's
me
new.
handle this. I will do the pinching.
You can see him take something out of his like chest pocket. It seems like some sort of pen-like object, and he twists the top, and a needle pops out, and then he brings it up to his neck, puts it in his neck, just, and then puts it back in his pocket. He's like, that's better. That's
What?
much better.
What is that? What did you just do?
Heroin.
Oh, don't worry, just a minor stimulant.
It's called cocaine.
I'm looking up at the heart rate monitor.
His heart rate is weirdly stable but high. So
Yeah.
don't worry, I haven't stepped for like 9 days. Stasis doesn't count, I don't think.
What was the name of the? Sorry, I have bad memory. What's the name of the company that he was from?
Outlook Industries.
Okay. Kuzon's gonna look and say, we can deliver you back to Outlook Industries, but I would like to have some of your reports on that anomaly that you were studying while you were down there.
Anomaly? What anomaly? Oh, you mean the angel? Is that what you mean?
I mean, that's the name you gave it.
Yes. I discovered it. I named it. Yes. Yeah. I can explain. Yeah. Oh, now? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you see, while we were surveying the area, we found this lovely alloy. You should know it. Yeah, you do know it, right? No?
I know alloys.
Oh, you do? So you know what it's called then. Perfect. I don't have to bother explaining.
No. I don't. Kuzon probably remembers, but the player doesn't.
Anyway, DI-735 is a unique alloy, and we found it. But at the center of the cluster of the alloy, we discovered the angel. It was like rock at first, but as we uncovered it, it was more and more not rock, and so we sealed its body away. We thought we found some sort of fossil, something unique like that. A great discovery. But then it started to get in our heads, and people started to panic a little. Slowly, they didn't want to believe me that it was the angel, too blinded by greed. And, well, over time, I had to take measures to prevent anyone. But, as it turned out, the cybernetic security guard, it wasn't exactly immune to the effects as you predicted. They all died.
How did you survive?
Yeah.
I locked myself in my room. After the captain died, I became senior officer. But then I sealed myself away and put myself into stasis so the voice couldn't get me.
Look, I've been there, done that. I've accidentally released a psychic creature out of an asteroid in my time.
Aiden's gonna look
Very
towards
scientist.
Prava.
And
Oh, right, yeah. I totally blanked on that then. I was like, wait, he did? That dude is back. Oh, my brother.
and I give him a look. It's like, okay, well, basically, we found out that all the creature wanted was to be left alone. So we let it go, and it stopped trying to get into our heads. It looked like all that was happening was that you guys had it trapped in a box, and it was panicking and sending out negative messages to people and causing them to go nuts.
Is it really that simple?
It wasn't very simple. It took my 2 psychic crew members communicating with it in order for it to calm down.
I see. Perhaps I was wrong. I mean, if rescue came, I was planning to blow up the entire place just to make sure, but I guess that's unneeded. Did you blow up the entire place?
No, but we took your stuff.
Oh. Well, I won't tell. It's not my stuff.
Yeah, it's insured.
It's all insured by the company. It's totally fine.
So, yeah, feel free. Make yourself comfortable. Don't fraternize with the prisoner, and have a nice trip. We'll get you back home.
Eat your teeth.
Prisoner?
Not related.
Oh. Do you normally pick up many people on your travels? Is this a thing?
It's becoming a thing.
Aiden is gonna pipe up. I think at this point we're becoming more of a scrap ship. We just pick up random things. Sometimes that involves people.
I understand. But I doubt... maybe are you going to Navara? Navara? No? It's fine. If I'm dropped on Absalom or Adare, I don't mind where we go. I can get passage.
We are pretty
Yeah.
close to the Dari, and I guess we can go there for resupply.
I mean, we'll make sure that you have a cell service wherever we decide to drop you off.
Well, thank you. That's very, very nice of you.
It's very broad definition.
Alright, at this point, he finally gets off of like the work table and he's like hops down. It's like, oh, good. You still can't see past his face, by the way. He still has that like white suit on. He's like, where am I going to rest today?
I'll take you to the lockers. You sure you don't want to? You looking for a uniform? You sure we have all your clothes?
Oh, you do? Wow, you took everything, didn't you?
Yeah.
I guess so. I'll go and get my clothes then.
Hey Yosh,
I guess I had a misguide. I was a little bit high on adrenaline, and I kind of gave too broad of a command to your guys' loading bus.
As you can see him like remove his helmet, and as he does, you can see like rocky-esque skin, and his hair is kind of crystalline in a way. It's like, what he is an all-red. I'm not sure what if you guys know. They're basically beings influenced by the realm of Earth, essentially.
They're kind of like a Genasi almost.
Yeah, kind of like the Genasi, but in Pathfinder, they're much more stand-outish. For instance, as I said, he's got rocky-esque skin in places. He has crystalline hair. Well, normally with Genasi, it's just a skin color change. So yeah, it's like literal like. But he does seem rather timid for an Allred. Normally, Allred are hulking beasts. This one he's kind of like Aiden size, and he's like.
Yeah, he's kind of like Aiden, like sniveling and like hunched over, like a little bit like Aiden, like he.
Wait.
A little bit slimy.
I just meant in height.
I know.
Oh, so like 3 feet tall, you said?
How dare you. Also, I bet you guys are super happy now that we invested in having a bit of extra room for people, because hey, look at that, we're picking up more people.
True.
Yeah, I mean, if we have things my way, we get rid of them when we can.
You can see like he's going off to get his clothes now. He's like, is it this way? This way?
Yeah, just look through the big pile. You'll find something your size, I'm sure.
Okay.
And as he walks by, he sees Aiden come out with his limp, and his club foot, and his cleft palate, and his hook hand.
What am I now? The fucking hunchback from Quasimodo or whatever it was. Jesus Christ.
He's got a bum leg, he's got a limp, he's got chlamydia, he's got...
That one you can't see, though.
So yeah, Dr. Higgins is currently going off to get his clothes. So I'll remove one pile of clothes from your...
Jesus Christ, how big is this man? He needs an entire pile of clothes.
No, it's just...
I assume he's like going through getting his stuff as well. Like,
Yeah.
His nice shirt and nice shoes.
My shoes, my shirt, this is my ID. This is mine, okay.
And this is where I released the our shirt, the Russian meme with Bugs Bunny. It's not yours anymore, Doc, it's ours now.
We achieved it, not you.
Yay!
Finders keepers, man.
Ooh. Wait, we got a cybernetic hand.
Oh yeah, so you seeing what I put in the cargo, are you?
Yeah, I'm just reading through it.
Yeah,
Allergy
essentially,
pod. Okay.
I'll go through the list since I didn't mention what pirate stuff you got. First, you have the Prog, which is currently in Kuzon's workshop and is pretending to be a lamp. You got a pet carrier from Aegis Corp. You got intoxicant minor 20, so 20 beers. Perfume standard. Religious symbol Phasma. Toolkit, miniature making kit. You know miniatures, like little, basically for like D&D stuff.
I'll be making miniature. I'll be making little. Can you make little Gundams?
Yes, you can make little Gundams.
I'll make.
Can I make full-size Gundams?
I'll make a little Ataika Gundam.
Yes, a little tiger, perfect. You also have a sun ice bean. It's weird how it's pronounced. Sunbeam ice, weird.
So wait, if
But
we
yeah.
make a mini Ataika, does that mean that Ataika's gonna be a dad?
Only if you take some metal from him.
Only if you let me put it in you.
So yeah, not for those who don't know, the Sunbeam Ice is rather unique looking. It's kind of like, literally like a little jelly bean sized tablet, which glows slightly blue. You also
What
have
does it
one.
do?
Let me see a second.
It's not for coffee, is it?
I just looked. Is this the one here where you eat it and it like treats hot environments as if they were a little bit cooler?
Essentially, yes. They're distributed on the sun. Apparently, somebody wanted to go to the casinos on there.
You eat it, and it makes you do bonus damage to Beazle, guys.
You also have a Hail Zone Sub-Zero pistol. You have scrap of 3 ships. If you go to shipyard, I'll tell you what you can do with that. For medical supplies you got from the pirates, you got an anti-emetic, an excitant, antibiotic, and a coagulant. From the station, you got 10 bulk of Di-735 alloy. That has some rather interesting properties. That's also I put in the cargo bay of your ship. 4 loading robots, 9 researcher and 1 security IDs, 1 cybernetic hand that has a needler pistol installed, but only has capacity for 1 dart. You have a spare control module for controlling the robots, which is normally installed into computers. You have a tablet with a secure data module on there, obviously containing secure data. Fire extinguishers 2, portable lights 4, and 1 survey map. Basic medical kit, med patch, and an energy pod.
That seems like the kind of laundry list you'd have if you get real drunk and go shopping.
Oh, and also like 8 piles of clothes.
So what you're saying is we're all set to start the play and we're gonna have all the costumes and stuff.
True. I mean, I bet you guys only have 1 set of clothes.
I actually have 5.
Oh. Wow.
I have
Probably
work
suits,
clothes, I have formal clothes, I've bought many suits, Ash.
Oh, that's good. See? You're a person with actual clothing.
Yeah, I don't wear clothes.
I clean the jumpsuits I wear, and that's it.
Prava literally just wears his armor and nothing else.
Like he's wearing nothing at all. Nothing at all. So
Yeah, he is
yes,
kind of like the Flanders of our group.
The only thing he's wearing is imagination.
Stupid sexy Prava.
God, I think he should be under arrest for because he's making me hard. No, I said that. Let's just keep going.
You should, let's move on.
Moving on.
Yeah.
So I believe we're en route to deliver the Pirate Queen and probably ditch the Doctor, correct?
yes. Where are you taking them? Like, what is your next objective?
I was thinking the Indari, what do everybody else think?
Idari?
Idari. Yeah, it's over here,
Does
it's
it
pretty close
matter when
by.
we drop the queen off? Because we got the job for the queen on Absalom. Like, would we not go to Absalom to turn in the
I mean,
for the
the
reward, or do they have, like,
Idari's on our
branches?
way, so like, we may as well
okay.
drop the
In
guy
the
off. And...
Just saying, in the packed worlds, basically, since you know it's a packed world type thing, you can basically go to any of the worlds and hand in bounties.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, since
Yeah,
the
they'd
dog
have like
wants...
a representative for whichever organization.
Since the
probably.
dog wanted us to drop him off on the Indari, we might as well drop off the Pirate Queen there with him, so, you know.
Hey, he doesn't mind where you drop him off as long as it's
By the
somewhere
way,
civilized.
since it's been like a couple of weeks, I forgot, but where does Z wanna go?
Z doesn't mind where you take her, apart from that she wants to go to Absalom. So even if you drop her off on the Idari as well, she's just going to take a transport to Absalom.
I guess we can carry her a little bit because eventually we gotta get back to Absalom Station anyway, so, you know.
Fair enough.
Want me to roll for the piloting check to make it to the Idari?
Yep. What are you gonna? Are you gonna use your drift engines, or are you gonna fly there normally?
I mean, we're close enough. I'm thinking just a normal flight.
I will
Okay.
stick my arm out of the window and I will flap.
I don't think that works in space. I feel
And
like
then our
the
friend-
chamber would decompress and we'd all be sucked out into the abyss.
By the way,
That's
just so
how
we're
I'll
just so we're
give him-
clear. Sorry, I just have to point this out to your pilot. Is that this map isn't exactly like all the planets are not in a line. For instance, Vidari could be on the other side of the solar system from you currently. That's why you roll 2d6 plus 2 to basically go, oh, okay, it's around here, or maybe you're lucky and it's just down here.
Oh.
Yeah. So I guess we could just use the drift engine.
Yeah.
Skip the trouble.
Yeah, if that's gonna make things
Basically-
faster.
Basically, out in the normal world, you get normal encounters, normal challenge rating. In a drift, you have a much lower chance of encounters, but they could be more dangerous encounters. That's
Ooh,
the kind of...
I'm all for more danger. I like that.
So it's like the warp.
It's like for warp. So, yes. Wow, you're lucky. You're gonna get there in about 2 days.
Sweet.
So once more, as the ship starts to slowly shut down its power, and you're prepping to go into the drift, is there anything you guys wish to do before that point?
I'm gonna find a closet. I'm gonna find a closet in 4 corners of the ship and stuff a loading robot in each of them.
Ah, good plan. You're just gonna stuff a loading robot in them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna quickly check on Z and the Pirate Queen, see what they're both up to, if they're up to any shenanigans, or are they, just minding their own business.
Essentially, the Pirate Queen is, as always, very respectable of her captors. She just seems to be sitting down and not causing too much trouble.
Oh, ain't you just the perfect little prisoner?
Well, what did you expect? You have captured me, fair and square.
I don't think you've got what it takes to be a good pirate. But I feel like you could make a pretty good mercenary.
Can we rule it that Ataika, the whole time she was in that hold, the reason Ataika wasn't with you is because he just sat there staring at her the whole time?
That's what
That's
Yeah,
how he watches a
Yes,
predator. What?
the only reason is that we would leave you in there.
Basically, you were watching
Wow.
the prisoners intently.
Sick. You guys know me very well. Jesus.
We knew what Ataika would do. Just sit. It's like, Ataika, could you watch the prisoners? Of course. Sits down, just stares.
With ease, is how we would say.
With ease.
No, even better. He's just quietly staring at her constantly, but it's time for his regular weapons maintenance, so he takes out his giant guns and starts maintaining them while not breaking eye contact with the prisoner.
Oh, obviously, you can do that. It's just second nature.
So yeah, it's essentially that's what you were doing. And as you mentioned about being a mercenary, then you can see a pirate been going, I don't know, I only know how to be a pirate.
Well, the biggest difference is, as a mercenary, instead of stealing, you earn your keep. Otherwise, you commit the same crimes, except nobody treats you like a criminal.
So it's like being a pirate, but you're allowed to be a pirate.
Yeah, pretty much. As in, it's a legit business. It's not a crime, even though it's the same thing. He just shrugs.
You can see her thinking, all the little arms patting on her almost slug-like belly for a second. Like,
Just
how's the pay?
I mean,
it's just like the idea that you're like, oh, you could be a mercenary. You wouldn't want to be a criminal who takes other things. And then after we just unloaded that whole station, and you're just like, stop taking things illegally. And then like a loading bot is like carrying somebody's refrigerator in the background.
It's just following the last orders I gave them. I'm sorry.
We asked the loading bot, I was just following orders.
when she asks Aiden that, he says, I mean, I guess you can have a look for yourself, and he takes out his personal PDA and shows her the last information his boys sent him about them recovering the buggy and making some extra credits, and literally what they made in their job working together is more than her entire bounty and pretty much half her crew.
My bounty's that low.
Yeah,
That's the first thing she notices.
I mean, here's the thing. Pirates, yeah, kind of, a bit shall we say, old-timey kind of feel. Mercenary
Only
business is where it's
1,000.
at. That's where the real money is right now. Everybody needs a private army. And best part is, you get paid no matter what. Whether you get into conflict or not, you still get paid. So, you know, as long as you're willing to put yourself in danger, cash flows.
I can't believe my bounty. The Pirate Queen's bounty is only 1,200 credits. Gah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
Well.
lie, that's a little embarrassing.
Is that an elected position? Like,
Pirate Queens are made, not born.
Yeah, monarchy usually isn't doesn't quite work that way.
I'm just mostly. I mean, I'm being mostly sarcastic. 'Cause I wanted to explain what is special about calling yourself the Pirate Queen.
If I give up my horde to them, they would probably reduce my sentence to basically a slap on the wrist.
Well,
Could get there and become a mercenary.
Aiden scratches his beard. There is another way to get on the authorities' good side as well. If a mercenary company decides to back you up and vouch for you, they'd probably go even easier on you.
You mean like a privateer?
Aiden takes out a small business card from his pocket with zero risk securities information and his name and number. Yeah, something like that. And he offers her the card.
She takes it with one of her arms and looks at it. It's like she clicks her beak a couple times and goes, "The Pirate Queen will think about your offer."
Yeah, no rush. I mean, unlike the cutthroat pirate business, in the mercenary branch we're all a family and we look out for each other. Just keep that in mind.
Is that a Prava of yours on your payroll?
Well, no, he's more of a colleague or a friend, if you will. But if you're interested, I do know what Prava's into, if you want to catch his attention.
We have much to
Does
talk
he?
about, but
You-
later.
Apparently, Aiden continues his quest to make the perfect wingman for Prava.
He does. Aiden believes he does, and that's what's important.
Exactly. Aiden's trying to help. He's a good boy like that. So, as you prepare to enter the jump, your entire ship goes dark for a split second as it lurches forward into the drift.
So, like, what if the whole ship goes dark? Does that mean like any like appliances and electronics blink off too?
For a moment, all non-essential
I
stuff.
imagine Z's just sitting there playing her video game. She's getting to like a really intense point, and all of a sudden, she's like, "Boo! Progress lost."
All you hear is "motherfucker."
Prava's been in her room for a while now, trying to get her to look at his selfie. And when the power goes out, he's like, "Look, now you can look."
You have no choice but to look.
Yeah, by the way, every time we go into this space, Aiden's just gonna keep blaring on the PDA like highway to the danger zone. He thinks he's being cute.
And then like by at the point, like it gets to the point where like it loops like a third time, and then Kuzon just like goes into his computer and like mutes it in every room except for the one Aiden's in.
Oh my god. I love the back and forth. It's just like, okay, he's doing something silly. I'm gonna make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, Kuzon doesn't like confronting people. He just like if you're doing something that annoys him, he just stops you.
Very passive aggressive little lizard.
It's like the thing is, the first time Kuzon was kind of into it. The second time he's like, it's still a good song. And then by the third time he was pretty annoyed with it.
He's like, no, not now. Well, once more you have entered the realm of almost organized chaos as you fly through the drift. Small islands are flowing past you, some even with buildings on it. You haven't seen any ships just yet. It's rather
That's-
empty in your stretch of adrift.
Honestly, that's probably a good sign, because I don't want to bump into somebody in here.
You should be worried if something bumps into you.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Right, so let's have a look at what.
By the way,
if anything-
inside here, do our sensors work? Are we picking up something interesting around this area?
What? Your sensors do work in here, though somewhat slightly differently due to the strange nature of the drifts. You can only really do it in, well, close range proximity, you know, well, your short range battle sensors instead of system wide sort of deal.
Can you check the
You do
weather?
pick up a few buildings and the like. There are some islands with breathable atmospheres as well.
For real? Jeez.
Yes. Sometimes when entire chunks of realms are brought into this place, some of their atmospheres stay.
Since there's atmosphere, there's not something growing in there, is it? Like vegetation?
Well, there are some vegetation, yes.
Yeah. That's messed up.
Prava's looking out the window, or like the view screen, very excitedly, like trying like not to like burst out and say, "Can we land and look around?" But like clearly super interested.
But can we though?
Just like a little kid, just like buzzing by the window, just like, "Oh, I want to go see what's in Disney World. I want to go see what's in."
Let me see. What would there be anything interesting that you would see? Let me check the table. Okay, right. So essentially, as you're driving, so you're looking at the view screens and the sensors. You do pick up what seems to be a rather strangely very cold chunk of land going past you. As you do, what you see down there looks to be some sort of battlefield type area. There's this large machine standing in the middle, one of its arms laying in the snow, reaching out towards a person laying down, but they're unmoving, clearly probably a corpse by this point.
When you say like a big machine, do you mean like a person-sized robot or like a Gundam-sized?
Like yeah, like a mecha-sized robot.
Okay. You know, Kuzon, that looks like some mighty good scrap out there. And if it's in the drift, no one's gonna miss it.
Scrap.
Yeah, look, take a look. Look at the size of that thing. Imagine the parts you could get out of that.
Kuzon's head is pressed against the window like a dog.
I can just imagine agents flying and all just you two pressing your face up against the view screen like, oh.
Scrap friends, scrap friends.
I want that. So what? Can you describe it again? Sorry, it's like a pocket where like a bunch of floating metal and stuff like that is.
It's like a pocket of, think of it like a wintry landscape. The ground is a tinge of blue, while the snow on top is a pure white. It looks like a battlefield long forgotten. The mech on top is reaching towards, well, a corpse at this point. It sort of looks like a improvised mech. Sort of like one of its arms is missing, the other arm is simply what appears to be a rotatory gun on the side. Its cockpit is a single thing, there's no head for it. It's basically its chest is reaching out. A battlefield locked in time.
Kind of want that. I just want to imagine that it's like a metal scene of like, it probably isn't, but this is what my imagination says when you describe that, is like a giant metal like mech and people going like fighting against frost giants and mechs.
I'd
So
hate
it's
to
like
be-
that'd be dope.
I'd hate to be the bearer of bad news, guys. Wow, that does look interesting. Do you think it's a good idea to make a pit stop here, of all places?
Ataika says yes. Immediately.
Here of all places.
Here it looks like the best kind of place to stop. Like, we're in the drift, so like no one else is gonna show up and poke around our new discovery. Looks like everybody who owns this stuff is dead already, so And
I
if
don't
not, then
know.
we can make a new friend.
I don't know, this seems like the kind of scenario where we stop, we take a look around, and then nobody's ever gonna hear from us again.
That's what the last mission was like, and it turned out fine. You know, you weren't here for it, but look, things work out for us when we stop to check anomalies, all right? It's established fact.
I want things.
It is canon at this point.
Aiden's just gonna look towards everybody. He sees that Thiveron, the quote-unquote voice of reason, isn't around, and he just shrugs, eh, and then he just jerks the stick to the side and starts getting closer.
That's all it took to convince you.
Yes.
Kuzon wants things.
Don't even know if things work.
You don't understand, Tash. Thiveron, the voice of reason, is not here. Aiden already said, is this safe? Everybody's like, meh. So he's like, okay.
I mean, Thiveron might have been down, though, if there was some information.
Yeah, there's these stories here for sure, so like... This looks like it's up everywhere.
This might be Ataika's dad.
I'm a mercenary. By default, I'm a little weird like that, okay? So I'm like, okay, I guess we're going then.
1 second.
We're all slightly broken people. It's okay.
It's the different kinds of broken we are that make us a good team.
It's okay, out of all the broken pieces, we'll make one thing whole. Oh.
Prava is broken in that he's a social person who has denied himself sociality all of his life, so now he's way overcorrecting. Kuzon's is that he has had bad relations with people and now is just interested in things.
Do me.
She's made for murder, and boy, there is nothing here to kill but us, so we better find
There is nothing here to kill but us.
We quickly find more stuff to kill.
I don't think I've told you what the background is between Ataika and Kuzon and why he works for me.
Oh yeah, we never did get into that. I mean, I assumed one night when we got
Kuzon-
drunk that probably slipped, but you know.
If Kuzon didn't do shady and borderline considerably malpractice based scrap mechanic shit on Ataika would have probably immediately strangled him and broke him in half.
Yeah.
But go ahead, explain it briefly if you want.
So, basically, I had a friendly mining robot that followed me around and like helped me do things, and the site gave me my own mining robot, and I kept on tinkering and adding my own stuff to it because I didn't care about protocol or like standard issue. And after the mining company went through everything in the ship, they forgot to check behind the wall panels. So like I found Ataika in there, and in order to turn Ataika on, I took pieces out of my scrap robot, thinking that I could just like plug my scrap robot's brain in his body. And when Ataika booted up, he became like a combination of his own internal programming, but he basically mixed in with my mining robot. So it made it so that I was one of the few people marked as a friendly target in his system because of the malfunction that happened between the mining robot's AI and his own AI. So technically speaking, that's the only thing that's keeping Ataika from just going murder, rage, kill, is that I fused my mining robot with his brain.
And it was entirely by accident.
Telling Ataika's history, are we?
Sort of, yeah.
Just that
Sorry about
that piece of the reason why we even exist as a unit.
So yes, Ash, apparently we're making the smart call here and we're getting closer to that anomaly.
Okay. So you're getting, since in the drift things are brought into this area all the time, but as you enter into the area of snowy peaks, you can tell from your sensors that the temperature just skydives down. Like it just keeps going down and down and down. It even flashes danger once, but your ship, as your ship lands, your ship's fine. Really, it's more danger. Don't you walk out there.
Well, luckily we have 7 or 8 piles of clothes. Maybe there's something.
I'll don the anti-radiation suit. Is that what it's picking up, or is it just like?
It's
Super cold.
extreme cold. I assume that you parked as close as you can to the center of this battlefield, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm curious to check out the giant robot and specifically the cockpit, so I'm gonna see if I can find some heavier clothes.
Okay. Right. Even as you go outside, you can tell that your armor isn't doing so well in keeping out the cold here. You could probably only spend a little bit of time at a time here.
Prava looks to Kuzon. He's like, well, we have all these new cargo robots. Can't we send them out to scout?
They are resistant to cold, so to the grade like what your armor is, heat is more their area expertise.
Oh, that's right.
However, there is one of you, I believe, that is okay with the cold.
Yep. As well.
Well, I'm sure the robot's also probably okay.
Oh yeah, there it is. I have advantage on fortitude to protect myself from hot and cold environments, withstanding harm effects from thick and thin atmosphere. Yep, all sorts of stuff.
I wanted to ask a question because I had an idea. If I take my heat pistol that I haven't been using as much because I have that laser rifle, can I like take it apart and kind of like improvise like a heater in my armor? If I like take this pistol and like lower the output and like combine it with that anti like radiation suit?
Is that from one of your skills, or are you just asking me if you can do that?
Skill, just from something I want to try.
I would say
use the heat filament to make a suit heater.
I would say it would definitely help you. Yes, essentially, you can do that, but it would more likely lose functionality of being a heat pistol and more of a personal heater.
Yeah, I'm kind of fine with that because I'm not going to use it over my heat rifle anymore.
I would say as you're landing and prepping everything, I would say it takes you guys an hour to prep, including making that small heater.
I think that's reasonable. Probably we'd want to like scope out. You want to like scan the area with the ship's computers, see if we can like pick up anything alarming or anything like that before we move out.
Yeah, essentially, if you want to, how this is going to work is that your little personal heater is more or less handheld, like you slot onto your armor. It's not an armor. It doesn't take an armor slot. But in order to heat yourself, you pull the trigger on it, and it basically heats up the area around you. So let's say I ask for fortitude save against cold environment. I would say you can pull the trigger and gain a +4, the same as toughness. But it takes up that amount of charge from the battery you're using.
And that would be like a radius around me, so I could do that like 5 times before I drain the battery of it?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, in other words, it's basically you.
That's useful. I like that. You just see, I want to imagine that what it is like Kuzon like has the trigger and he like has like a heating filament that's like sitting on his shoulders. He's like, everybody around me, and it's like a giant like toast, like exposed toasting like heating element sticking out of his back, and everybody's just like
Yeah, so essentially you would have to pull it for the amount of people that you have. So in other words, if you help Prava and Ataika, you'd have to go you, him. Like bang, 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 3 charges.
I guess I don't see if I wouldn't see if they succeed or fail. It's not like other effects where I get to do it after I see their roll or anything like that. I just have to like decide to do it.
Yeah, I would say, you guys are getting cold, make a fortitude save. You basically huddle around, charge it 3 times, all 3 of you.
Okay.
You could do it for Aiden as well, and it would gain a +4 as well.
All right.
Depends.
You'd just be like sunbathing at that point.
Get a tan while we're excavating a robot from a glacier.
Oh yeah, Aiden probably looks quite okay in this weather.
Yeah, Aiden seems to be holding up a little bit better than usual. It's surprisingly sturdy for a human.
Prava's half listening. He's standing by the airwalk, waiting for you guys, literally vibrating with excitement.
Aiden just sighs, alright, let's go. He just slams the button on the door so he can open it.
I like how professional Kuzon is as well, despite him probably never seeing snow before as well. He's like, oh my god,
He hates it.
it's cold, wet, fuck stuff.
Yeah, like he's he hates it so much that rather than just going outside and experiencing it, he's like, the first thing I have to do is craft a device that lets me ignore the snow and the cold.
So,
and then you know that he's gonna hang out in his room and bake in his sun lamp after he's done out here.
So, as the doors suddenly start hissing open, the small force field of the door prevents the freezing cold from hitting you at first. But as soon as you pass through into the outside, you can already feel the chill getting to you.
Ooh. It's a good thing I like robots.
Well, since we're splitting up, Aiden's not gonna waste much time. The more he stays in the cold, the worse it's gonna get. So he is going to double time it. I'm assuming the snow is probably pretty thick, so it's gonna be hard terrain, but he's gonna pick up the pace nonetheless and start making it to where they saw the downed person.
Alright.
Prava's gonna jump outside and immediately start making snow angels.
Okay, I also want you to, before you jump, I just want to mention that as you're about to jump into snow agents, all you see is Aiden fucking... All you see is him kicking up snow as he just... gone.
Ah, he's real quick.
In definitely not human speeds.
I mean, Prava doesn't know a lot of humans. He doesn't really know how they compare.
I'm sure humans can do that.
Yeah, that seems normal.
Not humans in his work, but he's never seen them do a feat of athleticism. You know, it's always been in business settings.
So, Prava, are you literally jumping in and doing snow angels?
Yes.
No, they're not snow angels. I'd say they're snow
Okay.
Pravas.
Snow bugs.
Snow bugs.
Ah.
You got two
I was about to say
little...
snow sects, but that just sounds like snow sex.
Listen, Prava's heard of snow. He's heard of the games you play in snow. When he's into this, he's gonna look for someone to start a snowball fight with.
Oh, dude.
All the first.
So, yeah, so Ataika has left the hatch, saw him jumping out, and just bundled up an Ataika-sized handful of snow and fucking laced Prava with it.
Just fucking bowling ball sized.
There's a little piece of ice in there that you just didn't notice. Your big meaty hands just.
As Aiden's running ahead, he just takes a glance behind him to make sure everything's alright, and he sees fucking Prava and Ataika just dicking around. He's like, why was this a good idea again?
Okay, I'm gonna say, due to your jet dashing, I'm gonna say that you probably already reach the area, so you can make a perception check. Meanwhile, the others, as you're playing around in the snow and the like, and as you're making your way over towards a mech, you're gonna have to make a fortitude save.
Dude, I almost critted. I rolled a 19. Damn.
I'll give. So the way this works, right, is if we fail, it's level of exhaustion, right?
Essentially.
I'll
Bit of frostbite.
use 2 charges to did we decide that Ataika did have a bonus to it, or that he doesn't have a bonus to it?
No, it doesn't say in his thing,
bonus?
so you have
Okay.
to use the thing.
Yeah, we all get a nice heat boost. +4 to the Constitution check.
Yep, so make constitute.
So wait.
Fortitude.
If you
Fortitude,
hook up
it's a save.
that machine
Okay.
to Ataika, since Ataika is made out of metal, can't you just heat up Ataika to a point where he becomes the heat source?
It would burn him.
Ah.
His insides would melt. Well, it's a good thing you got +4.
Where the fuck am I? It's been so long. I don't know.
Saving throws is on the right-hand side, underneath health.
Ew. Okay, I found it.
Every time we go into an extreme environment, Prava gets dicked real hard.
It's because you're used to sitting in an asteroid, a climate-controlled asteroid.
I'm not used to this fucking outdoors thing.
We need to buy Prava some sunscreen and something to protect him from the cold.
Sunscreen to protect from the cold.
I
No, no,
I hate to
and
get my...
something, and something.
Oh no, sorry.
Okay. I mean, the sun's probably not a problem. He's got like a little sun orbiting him all the time, so he's probably good when it comes to like UV rays and stuff.
I mean, do you really want to risk getting sunburn on your beautiful scales? Stuff. I don't know, man.
Excuse me, it's an exoskeleton.
Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't
It's
aware
already
how
jet
looks work.
black, so like, I'm probably more in danger of being literally cooked from the inside out than I am of getting a sunburn.
I mean,
So,
you are getting a
essentially-
sunburn, it's just on the inside.
For you guys, Kuzon and Ataika, you are doing just fine. Prava, it's more than a bit nippy. You can feel. So you're gonna take 1 second. I found out that you're gonna take 3 stamina damage from the cold.
Prava's just there like doing snow angels doing, and they just slowly get slower as the cold creeps in.
I just like that you're flavoring it that you're making really poor
So,
decisions and
wait,
rolling around in
wait,
the snow,
wait.
and that's why you're failing.
Prava, something to keep in mind. What if your antennas freeze up? Like, are they in danger of breaking?
I don't know. I've never been this cold before.
It's fine. So yeah, essentially, this isn't the coldest that it could be, but it is to a point where it can start affecting you slowly over time.
Gotcha.
So yes, Ash, I rolled a 27 on my perception. Almost critted. I'm proud of that.
Okay.
Good shit.
So as you reach the pair standing across from each other, you can see the mech's arm laying across the ground, and now you're up close and the snow isn't preventing you from seeing. You can see the cockpit is open and empty as you're looking down, and the person laying back isn't pointing a weapon at the creature. It's holding out its hand towards the mech.
In my mind, I'm thinking this machine probably had some kind of AI and the person was trying to get back inside it. I'm gonna quickly rummage through the person's pocket, see if I can't find any kind of device, maybe some kind of ID or something that might activate the mech or anything. You know, kind of like an engaging key or something.
As you lean down, you start searching, and you can see that the creature looks, well, it's hard to tell what it is until you sort of recognize it. It looks almost like one of the beings on one of your, like, where you're from.
How did this creature
White
die?
skin. It has white skin, you know, fluffy ears, but hard to tell in the snow, given that it's long since dead. You can't exactly tell how it died, but, well, it does look like there's frozen blood on its torso. It's also probably very frozen. And as you start searching through it, its coat just snaps off in your hand due to the cold.
Hmm.
As you reach in, you find a old pistol. It doesn't look like much. Looks like a single shot thing. But perhaps not even operable, to be honest. The ID on it is long since faded. Whatever happened here happened a long, long time ago. But you do find a small data pad tucked away. It's off right now, but could be salvageable.
I'm gonna pickpocket the data pad, and then, considering the situation, it's pretty much impossible to give a proper burial, so I'm gonna dig under the snow, see if I can't find any dirt. Is there any dirt?
There is rock.
That we'll have to do. I at least try, I'm not sure if the body is frozen, I'm gonna try to put it in a proper burial position and put a few rocks over its head, kind of like a small monument, you know, see, quote unquote, give it a proper burial at least. And put some snow over it so it can get covered over time.
You would have to basically snap it into place to be that crude. Basically, to lay it down, snap its arm, snap its back, and snap its head into place.
Nah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna try and make a quote-unquote makeshift monument and a grave real quick. I'm gonna assume that's gonna take me about 10 minutes or 15 minutes. So do you want me to make a fortitude save?
Yes, please. While the others are making their way over.
One last thing before I do that, since this guy was probably some kind of fighter or anything, does he have dog tags?
Doesn't seem like it.
Okay. Let's see, where's the fortitude? There it is. So that's a 19.
Okay, you do make it through. You're able to shrug off the cold. By this time, all three of the others make it towards the mech while you're building the small monument with rocks.
I'm just gonna quickly try and contact them. Do I manage to connect to them?
They're literally 10 feet away, so yes, you do.
Oh shit, okay, never mind. Well, as soon as I see them coming, I'm gonna say, Kuzon, Kuzon, I managed to recover a small data pad. It's currently off. You might wanna take a look at it when you've got a minute. And I'm gonna hand it over to Kuzon.
Ooh, fancy. Is there like an SD card that I can just like unplug from this thing and plug into my head?
You can engineer to see how you would. Of course, data pads are all different designs, so
Okay.
this one seems to be rather unique in its build.
Is that like a computer's check, or do you think it?
Engineering. You're trying to find the SD card, correct? So as you find it, you've noticed that it's not that the data pad itself is different, it's the case. And as you put your claw along the edge, you finally click, and it opens up, and you finally find where you can access the SD card. But on the other side is a small picture and dog tags hanging off of it.
Ooh. I'll just kind of like pull it out and hold it up to Aiden, just like showing the dog tag numbers. Like, this mean anything to you?
Yeah, you mind if I take those?
Yeah, I'll just like thumb flick it to you.
Essentially, it says Alloyed Territories, 2nd Division, Riforian Brigade.
I'm gonna put the dog tags in my pocket for later, and while Kuzon's taking a look at the PDA, I'm just gonna start climbing the mech and trying to make my way towards the cockpit so I can have a look inside.
And what the others are doing?
Prava's gonna see him doing that. He's gonna scamper up right behind him.
And Ataika, I suppose you're gonna keep a watch out, or?
I'm just like looking at and admiring this big motherfucker of a robot.
You are big. You are a good machine.
Are you my mother?
You are the machine god.
As you start climbing up the machine, you hear the small creaking of the metal, though it seems stable. Both Prava and Aiden, you check inside of the machine, and you can see, even now, it looks rather comfortable. Leather seats, cracked from the cold, small pictures laying around that have faded with time. But on just the cockpit itself, just outside, you can notice a name etched into the side. Sora.
Yeah, must be the name of the mech.
From Kingdom Hearts?
Well, on the other, I suspect that, Prava, you're not actually climbing on Aiden, you're on the other side of the cockpit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you notice that there's also another thing said little, so little Sora.
As we're both climbing into the cockpit, Aiden's gonna pop up. Hey, Prava, you wouldn't happen to know how to, start this thing, do you?
No clue. But he looks at the chair and he's like, but dibs.
Go back to Kuzon, who I believe you've already plugged in the like small data memory card of a data pad. What have you done with just the broken data pad? Tossed it away?
Yeah.
You do start coming across basically it's old data, corrupted data. The card didn't survive that well, but you can pick up quite a bit from it still. For instance, you do know that whoever was doing this was recording their adventures out into they are exploring the encroach and making sure that and it's cut out. Like basically they're hunting something down in the encroach to protect their ranch. Do you relay this information to them?
I'll just I'll climb up and Kuzon just kind of like is getting Aiden like a side glance as he says this. And it's like, I think this machine is produced by the dragons based on the digital receipt I was able to pull out of that PDA.
Prava gets up there, or Kuzon gets up there, and Prava's just about to press a button as he climbs into the cockpit. He's like a hand reached out, about to press just whatever random buttons in front of him.
As you start pressing buttons, as Kuzon's climbing up, all you hear is click, 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 click. Nothing's happening, of course, but he's still pressing all the buttons he can.
It's
If there's a switch that's flipped, if there's a button that's pressed, especially if that button had like a little like glass cage over it, like only move in case of emergencies, that shit's getting.
And when you do, you feel the seat suddenly disconnect. It's like, but nothing else happens.
I got the chair detached. Yes.
We're going to have a conversation about this, about our standard operating protocol. When you're presented with buttons you don't understand, you don't press them. Do I make myself clear?
But we're trying to get the machine to move. This would be the most effective way.
Actually, not even.
That's how you got Ataika to work.
Yeah, but Kuzon considers himself an expert, and he doesn't want Prava putting his fingers all over everything.
So, now that you're up here, Kuzon, any idea where the black box or the AI might be stored on this thing? I'm assuming there's probably an AI. Maybe we can, jumpstart it and figure out if this thing still works.
Well, it's been dead for a while. I'll get in, but like, so this would be kind of like a modern, like plane almost, where there's like a black box with some details on like what it was doing up until it stopped, probably.
As you start looking, I would like you to make an engineering check to see.
I'm gonna do my. This is my luck. Can't run out.
As you're checking over the thing, you do eventually find where the black box is located. You basically have to open a panel on the back of a mech and get inside the small crawl space, which is quite easy for you, of course, given your size, and disconnect the small black, very armored box and start dragging it out.
I won't go into it right now. It's like, we're keeping this sealed until I can get it to my lab, and I'll slap it down on the dashboard.
So, are you attempting to get it to work? Is Prava still pressing buttons?
I mean, if I can find and identify the power core, I'll see if it has power. I assume it'd be a really high check for me to like turn this thing on.
I would say, yeah, you would need another engineering check as you get in the crawl space and you're like messing around with it. Oh, and could everybody roll me another fortitude save, please?
I assume I can't, since we're doing this, I assume I
17.
can't.
Yikes.
Oh no.
I'll give myself a bonus, I guess.
Don't worry, Alex. Yours is one better than mine.
Yeah, but that's my second fail in a row.
I rolled a 14.
Well, I would say before you went in, you could have gave him +4, but I don't think it matters.
No.
So
Also,
yeah.
Kuzon's kind of a selfish dick.
So everybody but Aiden takes 4 damage to their stamina. It's
Oh boy.
you can feel the cold starting to bite into your
By the way, I'm assuming Ataika
skeleton
is
skin and shit.
at the base of the mech since he's probably not climbing up here. At least I'm hoping he's not climbing up here.
Who's climbing up? What?
Ataika. I'm hoping he's at the bottom of the mech, not climbing up it, right?
I think he's admiring the gun arm.
Ah, okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
If we're climbing up, it would be taking panels off with me.
How big is the gun arm? Like, how big is the arm? Like, could we just take it?
The rotary gun is basically a heavy weapon, so it's round. It would take Ataika both hands to haul it. Like
Yeah, but it's big
Cross.
enough that if I just disconnected it from the robot's hand, and he could like take it back, and we could like repair it and stuff.
you could attempt to. Yes, it does look fairly damaged, but otherwise, it may be possible. I'm not going to tell you outright if it is, since you aren't focusing on that
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm just gonna check to see if this thing has a power core. I'm thinking it's kind of unrealistic for me to get it running, so that won't be like Kuzon's thought, but he'll check it out anyway, just for good measure.
What?
Aiden's gonna reach out from the cockpit and yell to Ataika below. Ataika, keep an eye out for Ursikas. We don't want them to catch us off guard out here.
Attack immediately just like takes out his gun and turns in the other direction and waits.
He then figures out that maybe you don't know what exactly that is, so Aiden starts like trying to explain it to you. It's kind of like, think of it like a praying mantis. Very white furred. They hide very well in the snow. Just keep a lookout.
And then Attacker just kind of like point like finger taps his gun, showing you that like, and then he just says, "My point still stands."
So my goal here is I'm gonna see what information I can glean. If there's any useful parts, and then I'm gonna detach that weapon on his arm, and then we're gonna leave.
Prava's taking the chair with him, by the way, from the mech. When we get back to the ship, I'm taking that leather seat.
I'll unbolt it from the floor if you want.
It already, Prava already like activated like a emergency escape with the chair, I think, because it popped right out.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah, sorry, we're puttering around DM.
That's fine. So as you're trying to activate it, you can tell that whatever happened to the other arm when it got cut off, it seems to have badly damaged the circuits. If you had more time, you could probably repair it, but it would take a while if you wish to repair the circuits to turn on the engine.
Yeah,
Sure.
I think that's not. Kuzon knows when it's time to bail. If that makes any sense. He, you know what I mean. You can't stick around. You can't stick around an exposed site for too long. You just want to take what's useful and go.
Fair enough.
So I'm going to. We have that black box. I'll take. I'll just like scramble and like take a few computer components or whatever on my way out that I can easily pocket, and then I'm going to, once I get out, I'm gonna nod to Ataika and like point at the arm, and I'm gonna make my way over there, and I'll need his help to like disconnect the gun, and then we're gonna bail.
Alright, so you start cutting through the mech's arm. What's everybody else doing? Are you preparing yourselves? Also, Ataika, make a perception check.
Prava's already walking back towards the ship with his new chair.
Just like, goodbye.
I'm glad you filled your hands up with things that are useful.
So Ash, I'm assuming there isn't any kind of AI or something to recover from this machine?
Well, if there would be an AI, that would be inside the armored box that...
Gotcha. In that case, I'm gonna start making my way down towards the feet of the mech, and I'm gonna stay vigilant because just in case we don't want to get jumped by one of those creatures I know about. And I'm gonna wait for everybody to finish what they're doing before I start heading back to the ship.
So, as you start to slowly peel it off, you can feel the gun suddenly hit the ground with a thump. As that one thumps to the ground and you guys start picking it up, I suspect, Ataika, you're probably picking up the heavy weapon as well and holstering it on yourself. But as you do, another thump occurs, like thump.
Uh-oh.